Three. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Omni Studio, the first of many sessions that we're going to have over the next coming years. And today's topic is about independence. And Chris and myself have talked about this a number of times. But before we start, Chris, can you give us a few words? What is Everything Omni, OMNIRAMA, and what's the difference between that and consultancy?
Hello, George, and it's good to be with you today. When I wrote the book, Where's My Office, I came across the concept of omni-channel marketing, and it struck me that it was really appropriate given the world we're living in at the moment, post-lockdown pandemic times, in that our traditional way of thinking has been turned head over heels, and the old binary way of looking at things through single dimensions doesn't really work anymore. We've got to look at things through multiple lenses. And then listening to how the media talks about, say, take for example, work from home or work in the office or remote working, it's all very binary, and there's a hell of a lot of noise out there as to what people ought to do. And I think there's a big vacuum around some independent thought leadership and commentary around looking at what's really emerging. And I think we're going through a huge period of discovery and exploration. And we hope by creating Everything Omni, which is literally as it says, it's everything and it's in multi dimensions and it's omni this and omni that. And it includes a whole raft of activities, which we're in the soft launch phase at the moment. And we invite listeners and viewers to get involved and come help us co-create this and develop it. But our key thing here is that we're independent and we want to share and develop actionable and deliverable insights and help people develop ideas to equip them to deal with what we call the new world that's emerging, because there's no return, in my view, to the old normal, if you will.
And
Does that make sense?
yeah, it does. And the word independence for me is super important. I've noticed that my mailbox is jam-packed of everybody telling me what to do, basically because they want some business out of it. And therefore, when we talk about creating this movement together and with many people as well, but we drive this movement, independence is something that we really want to drive. And what's your views on independence, and how do you think independence will react
Yeah.
throughout the world just now?
Oh, another great question. Um, Everybody has some form of axe to grind. And I guess if we're truly honest, we would like it through OMNIRAMA to earn a crust. But we're not here to sell a building or a furniture system or a massive consultancy program. We're here to work with people to help everybody learn together. And basically, because if you look at it, all the precedents and playbooks that people have relied upon for decades have been thrown into chaos as a consequence of the huge shifts in behavior and attitudes and economic drivers. And our friend Barry Varco describes it as the three vectors of change. We've got this perfect storm now of digital transformation, climate change, and the fallout from the pandemic. So we want to use this as a think tank with a difference, if you could describe it as such, to cut through the noise and all the confusing narratives that are out there around, in terms of the changing nature of the working environment, how we work, where we work, when we work, and
And
do so with an independent perspective.
and I see that a lot of these consultancy companies and well-known brand names have what you call, or what we call, a game plan or a game book, that they just open it up and then they show us what to do. And for me, what I think is important now, because everything has changed, is that we don't come in with one game plan, that we actually do this together. We create a
Yeah.
community. And so that also what I would get when we talk about binaries and this It's either yes or no. It's to become more non-binary or multi-dimensional so that we understand that there is more than one way to skin the cat, that there are multiple ways. And with this hybrid of what we will call omni-working, that there is not one set of rules. So we need to understand that mix and match. And how can we actually make sure that we do not end up being non-independent and keep that independence around us?
Oh, well, I think as somebody in my former days of being a consumer of services at Disney and the BBC, I did get fed up with people coming telling me how to read my own watch. So, we're using that learning and the learning of other folk through our tree of knowledge, who is a group of people who are not just academics, they're people like ourselves who are being practitioners, who have been out there, who want to share the learning and experience. But also, I think, our secret sauce is the fact that we recognize that. Um, Two heads are better than one. And the other head we need to bring into all of this are the heads of the first of the digital natives who are coming into the workforce. Because you can say that, old guys like us, our job is to pass on our experience and our knowledge to the young folks so they can take the great wisdom we have built up. There's nothing wrong with that, save for one thing, that we are analog beings and we're the last of the paper and pencil brigade, whereas the digital natives coming in now live, think, play in a very different manner. And frankly, as we've been learning in recent weeks, as we go through the soft launch of OMNIRAMA, they don't trust many of us. So why is that? And what ideas can they bring to the fore? And what insights can they bring? So by merging the tree of knowledge with our future leaders and looking at this as a 21st century academy, if you will, as another potentially useful label, we want to create something which is very, very, very different, unorthodox, if you will, but something where people can bring value to the table if they come on the journey with us and take a lot more value away. And that value is in real time rather than based upon research, which is 6 or 12 months out of date.
And that's why we've, from the very beginning, really focused on something with the future leaders, which we're now calling Omni Future. It's led by younger people, self-governed by the younger people, and actually very independent from what we're doing. So we're looking a way to connect these things together as opposed to saying we need a future leaders program or we need a talent management
Yeah.
program. And in fact, what we're doing is we're creating a, if you want to call it a community, a research
Yeah.
community, but also active discussions. And these discussions are multidimensional as well. And it's, for me, it's one of the best things that we've done. I mean, I've been involved in the past with future leaders and leadership and everything else, but being able to basically say, tell us how you want to work and what you need from the future, and then connecting that to, if possible, to businesses who are looking for, or not just businesses, entities who are looking for, how do we understand what the youth is wanting? And clearly, I made a keynote a couple of weeks ago about this and brought this whole thing about, as you said, about trust. And it's obvious and really, really clear that what has been said in the media is not what the young people are actually saying. So what we're trying to do is in this community is to cross-fertilize all this information so that it's not biased, it's not one dimension, it is multidimensional, it's not binary, and a platform for people to be able to speak and talk and communicate and understand and learn. So we are moving from this idea of an academy, because we think of it as an academy, to what the younger people are calling a school of work. So you'll see that there will be a translation of terms as we're moving on. And I think this is another proof of the pudding that we are trying to be truly independent.
Yeah, and I think, given the both the people and the place dilemmas that organizations large and small are facing today, if you look at the narrative in the media of the last few weeks alone, many leaders have come out now and said they recognize that they're going to have to figure things out afresh. They're going to have to experiment, and they've also recognized that the tried and tested model of one size fits all is either dead or on its last legs. Now, if you take those aspects in the round, um, how how we can add value to our independence, I suppose, is that we can help people join the dots and deliver and create actionable insights that help everybody make better informed decisions as we go through this period of huge uncertainty and reshaping of not only our business lives, our learning lives, our living lives, all of life. And that's why sort of everything Omni we feel is a good label to characterize this portfolio of products we're bringing to the market early in the new year.
So we would like you to also join us and join the community and give us your voice and your thoughts of what does it mean to be independent, but then also to join in our other topics that we're going on just now. We have a topic just now called this Sustainability Renaissance, which is super, super exciting. So this is not just a one-off, this is a start of a movement to be able to create that conversation, to create that dialogue, to analyze what's going on and be able to help each other get moving on and developing new ideas and developing new game plans. So Chris, thank you for today. My name is George. Please join us. We are available all the time. EVERYTHINGOMNI.com is our website, and we're available on Clubhouse and LinkedIn and many other social media channels. So looking forward to connect with you and see you in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.